Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and it is the end of the month. It's the last day of May. I can't believe it for many reasons, because one, I put up a video every single day this month. So if you're new here or you subscribe towards the end of the month, I was doing a no buy for the whole month for houseplants. I didn't buy one houseplant the whole entire month, and I also was dubbing the month Houseplant Appreciation Month. So I spent the whole month interacting with my plants, picking them up, holding them, bringing them in here to show them in videos. And I also put up a video every single day. And I think that really helped with the no buy, because I still got to, like I said, interact with my plants. I got to hold them, to pick them up, to touch them, to look at them, and then gather them up for videos. So I am going to talk about the whole no buy experience in a repotting video. I'm probably going to film that one Saturday, so it'll either go up later on Saturday or Sunday morning. So keep an eye out for that. If you have any specific questions you want me to answer regarding the no buy, tips and tricks, what I learned about myself and my shopping habits, I would love to answer those. But that's pretty much what I'm going to talk about in that video, is my no buy, how it went, and what I learned about myself. But I'm also going to repot some plants. So let's get on with the favorites. First one I gotta mention is this. This is a Hoya pubicalix splash, and I put this plant on a makeshift trellis earlier this month. I did do a video on it, so I'll link that video down below in case you want to see the progress or see how we did it. Anyway, I put this plant on these willow branches that I've had since Christmas, and in the video even, I wasn't sure if I liked this that much. Let me show you on this side. I wasn't sure if I even liked it that much, but it has grown on me, and every day I see it and I'm just like, it looks so nice. So it looks really good. The vines were kind of just like tangling onto a nearby plant, but I thought it would give it its own support, and I really like the way that it looks. I did put the tall vine on a short stick, and then this one I put a tall stick on a short vine. So I do need to switch those out, but other than that, I think the plant looks so cool. I love it. I'm glad I got to use the willow branches that have been sitting there since Christmas time, and I love this. I think it looks so cute, and it just sits up there on my shelf now, just looking like a nice little art piece. Love it so much. I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad I ended up liking it. And then another Hoya that I've really been enjoying lately is the Hoya obovata, I think. This is one I don't think I have mentioned but once. I think I mentioned this maybe in a haul, maybe in my Hoya, like ranking all my Hoyas video. I think that's the only time I ever mentioned this one. But I have had this for a while. I did buy it in a hanging basket, and it was much bigger than this. I bought it locally, and it was such a full, big plant, but so many of the leaves just fell off and died. And this is one that really bounced back, just like the Hoya pubicalix. So much of it died. I put it in the smallest pot that I think it thought it needed, and I just left it. And this actually sits on the bottom shelf in a really high traffic area, and it gets super dirty. I actually just rinsed it off before this video. But this plant is super cute. It's definitely underappreciated by me in my collection, because it just sits on that bottom shelf. It doesn't need a lot for me. It's still getting decent light. Like, it's right adjacent to a skylight. I water it when needed, but it's always covered in dust. But it seems to be doing really well anyway. Like, it's grown so much since it was on the brink of death. And I love this plant. Like, look how cool it looks. Look at this one here. I love this leaf shape. It's just so big and round. I think this is a beautiful plant, and definitely underappreciated, but I've been really enjoying it a lot this month. Just kind of looking at it, and I think all the new growth too is kind of like always catching my eye. Really like it. Okay, this next one is probably kind of weird, but it's something I still want to mention. So I don't know if some of you know this leaf, but I have one begonia maculata wayetii leaf sitting in water. It's been sitting in water for a very long time. Just this one leaf. It's never done anything. A lot of you guys told me to cut some pothos propagations and put them in here, because I guess the propagations from pothos let out some sort of enzyme or something that could help stuff root faster. Obviously I haven't done that yet. I just can't bring myself to cut the plant. I don't know what it is. But I noticed a root finally growing on this. This has been in here for months with actually nothing going on. But look at that. It grew a little root, and I just noticed it today. I actually came in here to fill up this water, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's a root. and the jar was completely empty. Not one drop of water was in here, and for some reason it was still doing okay. And it's growing like little tiny growths on the side. There's a little green little growth right there, so maybe it's gonna start doing something, I don't know. I did move it in here as well, so it's getting a ton of bright light throughout the day, especially when the sun is kind of going down. But yeah, I had to mention my one leaf because it's actually growing roots now. And I don't know why I can't get rid of this. There are some plants that have just like a slight thing I don't like, and I'm like, goodbye plant. But this one, for some reason, it's one messed up leaf, but I can't let it go. I don't know what it is. But it's growing roots now, so it's doing something. It's got a crispy part. Got it. Okay, the next plant is this little cutie. This is an African violet. It's a variegated African violet. And I just decided to try African violets again. I have had these 3 or 4 different times. I've had the regular one, the variegated one. And I feel like the mistake I made the most with this plant that made it die so quickly was I let it get too dry between waterings. So when I first talked about this plant, I think it was in a haul video, a ton of you guys were telling me how to take care of it, and you have a bunch of them and how you take care of them. And the number one thing that most people said was don't let it get all the way dried out. Don't wait till it's limp before you water it. And I've been doing that, and it's been doing so well. Like, it grew a bunch of new leaves in here. There's a bunch of new growth there in the center. These little pieces here are doing a lot of stuff. So I think keeping it moist, like not all the way moist, like I still let it dry out a tiny bit, but I don't let it get all the way dry. I was actually just gonna put this in the water, and I thought I would mention it first. So it does need water today. I did take a lot of the flowers off as well because they were just spent, but this is so, so, so cute. I do want to take it out of this pot, but I don't want to put it in a terracotta pot because I don't want it to get dried out too quickly. But I don't have a lot of pots that aren't terracotta actually, so for now it's just going to stay in the nursery pot, although I don't really like this color combo. That's kind of weird because this is like the same color as a terracotta pot, but there's something about the plastic, I don't know. But I love this little guy. It's so cute. I'm hoping I'm gonna do well with it because my goal was to get really good at taking care of them and then give one to my grandma and then show her how to take care of it. Because I think she would really like this plant too. This plant here is one I don't mention a whole lot here on my channel. I don't know, I just can't like find a video where it fits, but favorites is definitely where it belongs. This is a philodendron ring of fire. I don't know what's been going on with this plant or why it suddenly just decided to explode with new growth. Maybe it's the like super bright light that it gets all day in here, but this plant has recently gone absolutely crazy with growth. For the longest time, it was just this one big leaf here, this one here that never really unfurled properly, and then I think it was 3 leaves. Was it 3 or 4 leaves that were on here when I bought it? I really don't remember. Was it this one? I'll have to like go back and look at the video, but I'm probably not gonna do that. Anyway, it was like 3 or 4 leaves and it didn't do anything for a long time. But suddenly this past winter and up to now, it's just constantly pumping out new leaves. And they're so beautiful. Like this one here is one that just unfurled, like it wasn't even open yesterday. Look how freaking beautiful that is. And then they get this really beautiful variegation and like marbling on the leaves. I adore this plant so, so, so much. I thought it was gonna be a lot more difficult than it actually is, but it's not. This is like one of the like most low maintenance plants I have. It sits there on the edge of the table. I water it when it's dry and then that's all I do. I don't do anything else with it. It just sits there, absorbs all the light and then shows me nothing but love. Such a good plant, such an easy plant, so easygoing, and it looks it looks like it's gonna be way more difficult than it actually is. This is also one that I always have to resist buying another one. I'll see one anywhere. Like I think Cactus Club had one recently and I was like, oh my God, I need another one. I don't need another one. If I want another one, I'll figure out how to propagate this, but I know I'll never be able to bring myself to cut it. And then one thing that's really cool about this plant too, like this leaf is barely unfurling and there's already a leaf right here inside of this sheath, like ready to go. So which was the most recent one? Was it? No, it wasn't that one. One of these leaves was the most recent one, and like as it was barely growing, this one was already popping out. So it always has a leaf on, like on deck. Such a good plant. It is a little pricier than your typical philodendron, but I love this plant so much. Definitely don't regret buying it. And I did buy mine from the Wild Flourishing website. Okay, and I do have one more plant to mention. This is actually my boyfriend's plant. I asked him if he had any plant favorites for the month, and he's like, well, you can mention Mabel. So this is Mabel, Mabel the pothos. This was labeled as a marble queen, but it's obviously not a marble queen. It just looks like, it looks to me like a Hawaiian pothos, but it could just be a highly variegated golden pothos, but it's absolutely beautiful. And it's interesting that he bought this because we were at Alameda Greenhouse buying some stuff for outside, and they do have like a houseplant area, but it's really, it's odd how small the selection is for how big the greenhouse is. Like they could have a lot more plants in there, but it's definitely not their specialty. They're like an outdoor plant place, but they do have a few plants, and this was in there, and I just mentioned how cute it was, and he went back in there and bought it. So he's like, he loves this plant now. Every time he sees it, he like looks at it, he shakes it around, and he's like, come on, grow. All these new leaves grew, and he just loves it. He talks about it all the time. This one's growing a new leaf here. So I wanted to mention his plant, and it was kind of weird that he bought it because he's not really like, he doesn't hate the house plants, but he's not gonna go out of his way to buy his own house plants. He only has two. He has two. He has an aloe that I love. I want this aloe so bad, and I always call it mine. And then he has a Raven ZZ. So this is his third plant in his plant collection. I think it's so beautiful, and I wanted to mention it to you because he said, you can mention Mabel. So yeah, Mabel, plant favorite. She's such a cutie. I love her. And then of course, my last favorite was this whole month. I honestly didn't think I was gonna follow through on the 31 videos that I promised myself I was gonna put up this month, but I actually did. I put up a video every single day. A couple of them went up like 10 to 15 minutes late, but other than that, I got a video successfully up every single day. I had so much fun coming up with ideas, recording them, gathering up the plants in here to talk about them, repotting. Like I didn't even think I liked watching repotting videos, and I learned that I love doing repotting videos. I really enjoyed the ones I did this month, and I hope to do some more throughout the summer and just throughout the year. I had a lot of fun with the repotting videos as well, but I put a video up every single day. My no-buy was very successful. I did feel tempted one time when I was shopping on Plant Arena. I threw a bunch of stuff in my cart, and I was feeling all crazy about buying plants, and I wanted them now. But I'm really glad I didn't buy them, because it turns out the plants weren't what I expected, and just goes to show, like, I shouldn't be so impulsive, because I would have bought a bunch of plants I didn't really want. But the no-buy was very successful. I want to talk about it more in that repotting video. And I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun this month. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the videos that I put up every day. I did put all of them in a playlist. It's called Houseplant Appreciation Month. And I'll link that playlist down in the description box in case you want to, I don't know, put on a playlist of all the videos I put up this month. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and subscribing and liking and commenting. All of those things really help the channel, especially when you engage with the videos. So if you leave a thumbs up, if you leave a comment, even if it's just a little emoji or anything like that, it really helps like boost the video, and it kind of push it out to more people, and more people might see it, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff, which really helps out the channel a lot. So thank you so much for engaging with the videos. I love reading your guys' comments so much. I know some of you watched every single video and commented on every video, these big old comments. I really enjoyed those a lot. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Let me know some of your plant favorites this month. I would love to know what they are. But other than that, this concludes a lot of stuff. It concludes my no-buy. So excited. It concludes Houseplant Appreciation Month, although I am going to continue appreciating my plants. And it also concludes Everyday May. So I am gonna miss doing the daily videos. I had a lot of fun doing them, but I'm happy now that it's done and I can just go back to, you know, 2 to 3 videos a week. I'm gonna try to do as many as I can because I still really love doing these videos, but I can't promise daily anymore. But anyway, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.